see a lot of people talking about Errol Spence versus Fundora. I've even seen Antonio Tarver talk about it. And a lot of people are talking about concerns with Errol Spence taking a fight like that. They think it's too much for him. They think it's dangerous. They think it's not a good move. And they think that Errol Spence needs a tune-up. To me, Errol Spence, that's one of the things that made Errol Spence a dog, you know what I'm saying, or somewhat in an elite caliber, is that Errol Spence was one of the only dudes who came off the couch and going straight into fights with no tune-up. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing I actually liked about Errol Spence. I'm not saying that it's good advice or nothing like that, but to me, that was the nature of the dog. You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing that I liked about him. And as far as people feeling like, you know, it's not a good fight for Eroll or something like that, I feel the opposite. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people like, yeah, it's dangerous and all that. And yeah, Fundora can, you know, he could pose some problems to Errol Spence, but I don't know if people stop studying styles and stuff like that, or maybe they just think Errol Spence is not no good no more. But Fundora is tailor-made for Eroll. That's the kind of fight that he actually needs to look good. Fundora is going to stand right there in front of him. That's the kind of opponent that Errol Spence needs. You know what I'm saying? And to tell you the truth, quiet as kept, how I feel, Errol Spence should stop Fundora. Almost no problem. You know what I'm saying? And even without the tune-up and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And then that's the other thing. Errol Spence has had tune-ups. Y'all just didn't notice it. You know what I'm saying? For those that really study boxing and what a person is doing and who he's fighting and when he's fighting them and how long they had layoffs and what's going on with them, we could easily tell when he had tune-ups that's been actual names, but they've really been tune-ups. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even gonna, you know, you don't have to go into that. You got, you know, Peterson, you got Garcia. That, you know, that's just some examples right there. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times he's had some tune-ups. Like I said, y'all just didn't know it. Y'all just thought it was a real big name at the time. But if you look at them, they old, they decrepit. They wasn't fighting. They've been off for a year. It's always been all kind of stuff. Like I said, the matchmaking over there at PBC, when they want to protect and build somebody, is second to none in boxing. You know what I'm saying? Like the stuff that they managed to pull off over there is just amazing. And that's the other thing. A lot of people want him to go into a tune-up fight, you know, before he goes into the Fundora fight. And people are not recognizing that PBC can't afford no tune-up fight. See, what people maybe forget or maybe they don't know is Amazon didn't give PBC no budget. Okay? PBC got to pay out of pocket. The money that they usually get to front these fights, they now have to front theirself. So who really has the money to front up a tune-up fight just to get to a Fundora fight? They don't got that room. You know what I'm saying? And low key, that's what you're kind of seeing over there with Tank. But I'm going to get to that video in a minute. But they don't got the room for that. So they need to make stuff that's going to move the needle. They need to make big week fights. You know what I'm saying? And Fundora versus Errol Spence in Texas at that is going to do good automatically. Just because of the atmosphere of Texas. You know what I'm saying? The Latino fan base in Texas and Errol Spence love in Texas. You know what I'm saying? It makes sense. He has to go to something like that. And if you ask me, it's the perfect thing for him. Anything else would be, I would say, below his standards at this point. You know what I'm saying? Even, you know, Fundora is not really, you know, up to par with what's going on, but it's a name that you can get something done with. You know what I'm saying? Who else can they get something done with? You know what I'm saying? When it comes to Errol Spence. Errol Spence has always been a person who's always needed somewhat of an equal dancing partner. He's never had enough star power to just carry a match and an interest in a match on his own. He's always needed some names with him. But a lot of people, you know, they're not confident in him. And I'm like, I don't know why. You know what I'm saying? I don't count him as washed up like that. And he can still vanquish him at Fundora. Still. I know people talk about frequency and stuff like that, but he's going to be right there for Eroll. And that's what Eroll loves. You know what I'm saying? And if anything, the fight should make him look good. You know, but a lot of people are feeling different. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. People lost their faith in Eroll Spence. You know what I'm saying? Now, it'll be different if Eroll Spence just flat out is doing this half-ass training. He gonna have a rough-ass time. If Eroll Spence can get back in there like he's used to doing and discipline like he's used to doing, he should have no problems. But if he half-stepping, half-training, okay. Now that you're saying that, yeah, you should be concerned. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it just depends on how Eroll is preparing himself. But Eroll still got the chops that Eroll still could do it. And I don't see Fundora being that much of a problem for him. You know what I'm saying? I see him somewhat tailor-made for him. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it'd be the easiest fight in the world for him, but it definitely shouldn't be nothing that'll topple him. You know what I'm saying? Eroll's still good and solid. It all depends on his attitude. Does he still really want to fight? And for the most part, he's shown that he doesn't. You know what I'm saying? So that can read through in the fight too. You know what I'm saying? So if anything, I wouldn't put it on what somebody could do to Eroll Spence. I'll put it on what Eroll Spence will do to himself by what he doesn't do. That's my opinion on that. Like, comment, subscribe. Bruce Vane, I'm out.